So this is where the gasket goes. As you can see, the piston and the piston rings are on the connecting rod, and that is the timing chain. The timing chain helps in the operation of tappets that will come above. So it actually spins the camshaft, which in turn operates the tappets. So tappets control the inlet and the exhaust valves. So here goes our cylinder. So here I'll add one thing. So when you hear cc, like 100cc engine or 200cc engine, so this is what counts. The volume of this cylinder is what constitutes cc, and when it is above 1000cc, you call it a liter engine. And since this is a single cylinder engine, we have only one cylinder, whereas the V-twin will have two, the Triumphs and all will have three, and your typical sports bike like the ZX, Tenor, the Gixxers, the R1, they all have a inline 4-cylinder engine. So this is a little bit so the piston should correctly align inside the bore. That's the cylinder. So this is the cylinder piston rod which drives the crankshaft. This is the crankshaft, and this is your clutch assembly. From clutch assembly, the power is transferred onto the cogwheel, and these are all your gears behind, which you can see. So that's the cam chain, and this is your carburetor air box. So air gets cleaned, it goes to the carburetor. Carburetor mixes air with fuel, sends it in, sends it to the inlet valves. The inlet valve sends it to the cylinder. Combustion takes place here. Power comes to the crankshaft. From crankshaft, it's transferred onto the clutch. From the clutch to your cogwheel, which in turn drives the rear wheel. So that's how engine works on the more basic terms. It's way too technical, but this is just to understand how a internal combustion engine works. As simple as that. So this is the inlet and the exhaust valve, which goes on top, and these are the tappets. The tappets are in turn driven by camshaft. So this is the inlet, and this is the exhaust, and this is where your spark plug is. Like, this is where it's located. We have not yet put it in, but that will where. So if you can see, the piston, it's at the topmost position. So it's, yeah, now we have our head in. So there's the cam chain. So this is a single overhead camshaft. There are SOHC and DOHC engines. So this is an SOHC engine, whereas you have only one camshaft, overhead camshaft, and two exhaust valves. So this is a 2-valve technology, whereas you have 4V, like the latest TVS Apache series, your Pulsar NS, they all have 4 valves instead of 2. So that is 2 inlet valves and 2 exhaust valves. So yes, now the camshaft is fixed. These are the rocker arms.
Here is one.
These rocker arms operate the tappet, and the rocker arms are in turn connected to a camshaft. And here I have to say, so when I say stroke, like one stroke is when the piston completes one cycle, so that's one stroke. So we call this 4-stroke engines because for one whole cycle to complete, the piston actually needs 4 strokes: a intake stroke, a compression stroke, a power stroke, and an exhaust stroke. So that's why we call it as a 4-stroke engine. Whereas in the 2 strokes, like the Yamahas, the SD over there, that is a typical 2-stroke engine. So 2-stroke engines, the main difference for 2-stroke and 4-stroke engines are that the 2-stroke engines doesn't have self-oiling capacity. So whenever you're fueling a 2-stroke vehicle, you have to add 2T oil into the mixture. Whereas these have self-oiling capacity, where the oil from here is pumped on top so that the piston stays oiled. And one more thing in 2-stroke, the difference between the 2-stroke and 4-stroke. 2-stroke engines, they don't have separate. They don't have a camshaft. The inlet and the outlet is controlled by the piston itself. If you want, I'll have a detailed video of how a 2-stroke and a 4-stroke engine differs. Please leave a thumbs up and put a comment so that I can make a video of that. So what he's doing here is trying to get the exact position of the piston so as it aligns with the camshaft. Marking ideyale. So there is a marking which says for the exhaust and the inlet, 2 markings. So with respect to that marking, you have to make the camshaft shift. Otherwise there will be differences in opening and closing of the inlet and exhaust valve. So yes, that's about it. That's like the whole working of a internal combustion engine, a basic one. If you have any doubts regarding anything else, please let me know so that I can make a detailed video on that also. Thank you. Cheers.